Good afternoon and welcome. I am not Louis DePasquale, so that's your first change. Although I'd be proud to be Louis DePasquale. Unfortunately, Lou has had a death in the family and he will not be able to be here. But I do want to say that this is by far the highlight of the year for Louis. He loves this event. He works very hard on it, and he's very committed to the scholarship program. So our thoughts are with Mr. DePasquale. So in terms of the program, I am Richard Rossi. I'm the city manager. So when it comes to remarks, you won't have to listen to my remarks. I will try and do that as I speak with all of you. And I want you to know that this is the 23rd year of the scholarship program, and we have raised in excess of $2 million, and 766 scholarships have been awarded. So we want to particularly thank those who have donated, citizens and businesses and families. I think it's a wonderful commentary on the city of Cambridge and how it values its educational system and the well-being of our students. We are pleased to announce this year that the city has received 184 applications, and that 68 of the 71 awardees are Cambridge Ridge and Latin High School students. So congratulations to them. So something I know Mr. DePasquale is very proud of, it's the CRLS online application process, and that has worked very well in the awarding of these scholarships, and that will continue. I'd like to thank Bobby Tynes. Bobby, you want to stand up? Bobby's an assistant principal at CRLS. Maria DiClemente, the Dean of Students. Is Maria here? Yeah. And then the guidance counselors, Jody Mace, Stephanie Richards, Deanne Weathersby, and Janani Nathan for their efforts for 2015. Thank you so much. I'm also going to ask 6 people to stand up, and this is a distinguished group of Cambridge citizens who have volunteered their time and effort to be on the selection panel. So if they are here in the audience, I'd like to hold your applause until they all stand. Natasha Lifton, John Costco, Kate Wilson, that's John Costco, that's Kate Wilson. Craig Yearwood, Bill Newcomb, and Colin Dickey. Thank you so much for your efforts. They do the ranking and they help with the application process, and they have all expressed how a difficult job that is given the quality of the applications. And we encourage any and all to continue to apply for this process as we move forward. We think this is a very, very unique kind of process that you won't find in any or many communities throughout the Commonwealth, giving out this number of awards. In addition to the donations received this year, through the mailing that we receive, I'd like to recognize Boston Properties for their annual donation of $50,000, and I'd like to recognize the Cambridge Jazz Club for their $1,500 donation, and thank Paul Ryder, the city's recreation director, for the proceeds of the Fresh Pond Golf Tournament, where we provide $2,500 to the scholarship fund. So if anybody's from Boston Properties is here, would they stand up, take a bow? If not, just continue to send us that check. That's what we want. I'd like to also thank all the residents and donors. Without your generosity, the program really wouldn't exist. And again, as I said, this is a unique thing for a community to do. This started as a small idea that I think has grown to an incredible model. And again, congratulations to those who push in the community for this to take place. We received over 1,300 individual donations that totaled $180,000 this year. This is a strong statement for our residents, and it's really appreciated by the students who receive these scholarships. Due to the generosity, I'm happy to say that the 71 award recipients will all receive a $2,500 scholarship. This is the largest amount of scholarship funds awarded in one year in the history of the program. To all the recipients, family, and friends, congratulations, and use it well. Our first speaker is the Mayor of Cambridge, the Honorable David Marr. So David Marr has had a distinguished career serving for 8 years as a school committee member. He has served for 12 years on the Cambridge City Council. He has been the mayor of Cambridge on 2 different occasions, this being his second occasion. He was first elected in 2010 and then re-elected in 2014. David has had great experience in the community, working for a local nonprofit, and he is just somebody who really values, promotes, and does everything he can to make public education in this city bigger and better, and works really hard with the school committee to have quality programming for our students. I'd like to introduce Mayor David Marr.
Thank you, Richie. Thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here. I want to welcome you all to Cambridge City Hall today. That's good. I think that this is a great day. It celebrates everything that is great about the great city of Cambridge. And I think that your accomplishments are something that we're all, as a community, very, very proud of. I've come to know a number of you individually and met others, and I think that what we're really happy about is the talent pool that you represent, the diversity of this city. You know, we can all talk about what makes Cambridge special, but it really is the diversity of this community, something that we value tremendously. And when I look around this room and see where people are from, what they've done, the travels that it's taken you to get where you are today, it's quite an extraordinary collection of stories, and one that we're very, very happy to celebrate today. So I want to just, on behalf of my colleagues, and I want to just introduce them, my colleagues that are here, City Councilor Dennis Carlone, who's with us. Welcome, Dennis. City Councilor Craig Kelly. City Councilor Leland Chung. School Committee Member Fran Cronin. And you're going to hear from the next person that I say, School Committee Member Fred Fantini, who's, we call him the Dean of the School Committee. But you're going to hear from Fred because he was actually very instrumental in launching this program a number of years ago. I do want to just say that I want to thank all the members of the Scholarship Committee for the time, the effort that you folks have put in, to the staff who's done a great and outstanding job as we've tried to refine this program over the years, led by Louis DePasquale, but all of the staff members who participate in this each year. Thank you very much. And, you know, and to the taxpayers of the city of Cambridge, we would be remiss if we did not say how generous the taxpayers are to making sure that these scholarships are available. And when we think about that for a minute, you know, again, it gets back to what I just said about kind of celebrating this community and all that we stand for in this community, because people are behind you, because you are the future of this great city. And we have great hopes, high aspirations for each and every one of you, what you're going to be able to bring to this community in the future. So it's with that that I want to just congratulate each and every one of you. I'm sure I'm going to see you all on graduation day as we think about that coming up very shortly. But, you know, I do want to just say, as in closing, that it's really is a pleasure, and I look over here at the leadership of Cambridge Rindge and Latin School and say that we are lucky to have the leadership that we have, both in the school department and in the high school, and throughout the district, to make this the quality school system that it is for the diverse amount of folks that we have in this community. So thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor Marr. So the first presentation for this year is the 2014 Robert W. Healy Scholarship Award. So Robert W. Healy was the city manager of Cambridge for 32 years. He retired in 2013. I had the pleasure of working closely with Bob for that entire time. And as a city manager, first of all, he was an English teacher by trade. So if you ever wrote anything for him, He had to read it and rewrite it 3 or 4 times, which was great, because you learned as you went along. But Bob really valued public education, and he really understood the necessity and the value of supporting a public education budget. And I think he worked very well with the superintendent of schools and the school committee in doing that. Also during that time, 32 years is a long time, but we were able to rebuild several of the schools in Cambridge, again, showing his commitment to the use of capital funds. Most recently, the War Memorial was all done over. The high school was all done over. The King School is about to be completed in a matter of weeks and will open in September on Putnam Ave. And then the plans in the budget, the financial plans to be able to do the King Open, and then other schools in the next several years, again, I think is a credit to his commitment to this process and how he thought about young people and public education. It was very, very important to him. So I'm going to ask Irene Kostakis from the Finance Department to come forward, and our first award will be presented to Katie O'Loughlin, the Robert W. Healy Award. Katie? Congratulations, Katie.
Katie, oh, come up.
So our next speaker, Mr. Fred Fantini, as the mayor pointed out, the senior serving member, 16th term on the Cambridge School Committee. Mr. Fantini is somebody who really, behind the scenes for a long time, pushed and pushed for this scholarship process to happen. Again, a real believer in public education. And Mr. Fantini and I go way, way back to when we were youngsters and our families were very friendly. Unfortunately for him, I was able to beat him in basketball, even at his height. I could beat him in a race. I beat him in softball. The only thing he probably gets me in is ballroom dancing. I wasn't that great at that. But Mr. Fantini, again, very committed to the youth of this city, very committed to the school system, and I think is a wonderful cheerleader to have in a community for young people and their educational benefit. Fred Fantini.
It's great to be here today. Actually, I'm actually going to read from a prepared text, because when I don't read from prepared text, I can speak for hours, and so they told me how to read from some prepared text. So it's great to be here today. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of institutional knowledge of where the scholarship program comes from. So in the 90s, I worked in a municipality, not Cambridge, where my boss wanted to file homeroom legislation to create an opportunity for taxpayers to contribute to a scholarship fund when paying their real estate taxes. It took us 3 years to get that home rule legislation passed. The main objective with the main objective, is that what I'm saying? No, objection, sorry, being made by the Department of Revenue. They felt really strongly at the time that having any other information on a tax bill would distract taxpayers. So it took us 3 long years before we were able to get home rule legislation passed so that people could contribute to a scholarship fund through the city's tax bill. And that proved to be really an exciting day for us. And then a few years after that, we actually achieved a greater goal, which was legislators filed statewide legislation to allow any municipality that wanted to opt into a scholarship program could do that. And I became really excited about it, and I brought the idea at the time to Mayor Ken Reeves, who along with the city council and the city manager and the city treasurer enthusiastically embraced the idea and turned it over into the capable hands of Treasurer Louis DePasquale and his key staff, certainly Irene and Stacy, that put this program together. Our city leaders were as passionate as I was in that scholarship funds, many times, as we all know, can make the difference whether somebody goes to college or not. And it can make a real difference. Scholarships are only successful, I might add, because I've ran several of them, when run well, and I would say that the city's program is one of the best run in the state, with strong leadership, dedicated staff, a hard-working scholarship committee, and taxpayers willing to contribute. Actually, this event is very special to me, as you can probably tell. I get a little bit emotional about it, and I think of it with a real sense of pride because it really is an accomplishment. Just imagine the city giving 766 scholarships out to deserving young folks. I really think that's a real accomplishment. And then when I see all the young faces here, it brings it home. Scholarship is important to me. My family, we've been for the last 20 years, we give out a scholarship to a Cambridge Regional Manager graduate who is accepted to Bentley College. So every year, and we give that award out at Bentley College, but if there's anyone going to Bentley, you should let me know. We give it out when they are accepted as a freshman, and just a few weeks ago, I was at Bentley College meeting with the recipient from Cambridge Regional Latin this year, and it was just, again, a reminder of how important scholarship is. So let me say, congratulations on your scholarships you're about to receive, and remember now that now you've not only received the scholarship, but now I look to all of you to be goodwill ambassadors for the city of Cambridge. And I know that you will represent Cambridge wherever you go with a real sense of pride. And in the words of a seminar I attended last week, in the words of Professor Moss Cantor from the Harvard Business School Institute of Leadership, she said, "The enemy of change is complacency." So let me just leave this last message with you. Be activists, be engaged, and most certainly, be Cambridge strong. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fantini, and again, somebody who really, really supports young people and their efforts in life, Fred Fantini. Our next speaker is Dr. Jeffrey Young. Dr. Young is the superintendent of schools in Cambridge. He is the leader of the educational program in the city. He has served as superintendent since 2009. He brings excellent commitment and drive with helping the city schools. He's very interested in the core values of academic excellence and social justice. Dr. Young has been recognized by the Mass Association of School Superintendents and with the President's Award for Outstanding Contributions to Education. He works very closely with not only the school committee, but with the city administration and the city council to bring quality education and a better environment for students. Dr. Jeffrey Young.
Thanks, Rich. It's a pleasure to be here today. Congratulations to everybody. I want to briefly just acknowledge a couple of groups that have not yet had their names called out, but I see a lot of family members sitting out there in the outer ring of this terrific room, and I want to ask all of you scholarship winners just to turn around and face your family for a moment, and if not applaud them or cheer them wildly, at least send them a silent message of thanks and gratitude for the great and tremendous support that all of you have offered to these fantastic young people. I'll applaud for you. And the other group I just need to mention is your teachers, right? So none of you would be here, and Rich was kind enough to call out Mr. Smith and Mr. Tynes and some guidance counselors and so on, which is fantastic. But I also want you to think about it, particularly if you have been in Cambridge Public Schools for 13 years. If you started here in kindergarten and you've been with us through all these years, I'm sure that you know that every one of those teachers has had some kind of impact upon you, right? Has helped to shape who you are as a young adult sitting here today about to take a check and head off to this next adventure in your life. And so please join me here again in just thinking about, we don't need to do a huge ovation unless you want to, all of your teachers at CRLS, if that's where you are right now, but also those that you had starting in kindergarten right through the 8th grade. Every one of these men and women has made a difference in your lives, and I know that you know who and what I'm talking about. So all the teachers in Cambridge, thank you on behalf of all of these students. Now, I just want to briefly say that this idea of a scholarship, as I think the mayor mentioned, doesn't happen everywhere, right? So I've worked in a number of other communities besides Cambridge, and I can tell you this does not happen everywhere. You people are really fortunate to have grown up in a city like Cambridge, where citizens and businesses and universities are so deeply invested in everything that you do, right? People really care. And so whether you are, or whether someone out there is a citizen who sent in $1, or whether you are a real estate developer who sent in a big check, or anything in between, right? We really thank you on behalf of all these terrific young people for investing in our kids. And what I want to say to all of you who are about getting ready to graduate and walk across that stage, as the mayor noted, back just a few weeks from now, think about that. Think about the idea of investment, right? These folks, whether they are taxpayers or businesses, have invested in you. They have sent money to you. They are saying, I believe that you are going to make something really powerful of yourselves. Knowing what I know about college tuitions and college expenses, you're not going to be able to invest in a whole lot of other people right now, at least for the next 4 years. So your investment is to invest in yourself. And in this one, I'm not talking about dollars. Maybe I'm just talking about cents. I don't mean pennies. All right? I'm asking you to invest in yourself. Be what you can be. Believe in yourself. Push yourself. Go as far as you possibly can. You're going to have 100 distractions at college, some extracurricular, some extracurricular. But don't forget that you're there to go to class, and you're there to learn, and you're there to have that real academic and social growth. So invest in yourself. And while you're at it, think about these folks who not only invested in you, but cared about you. And that, there's plenty to go around. As you're investing in yourself, care about someone else. Show someone else that you care. And that is a real investment. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you very much, Jeff Young. I'd like to also recognize Carolyn Turk. Carolyn's our Deputy Superintendent. Stand up, Carolyn. And I have a little announcement now. If Mr. DePasquale were here and the Vice Mayor gave him this announcement, he would look at it and he would say to the Vice Mayor, well, I'll do it, but you think you put a little extra in your check this year when you donate to the scholarship fund? So he's agreed to do that. So I'm going to just read this announcement because I think it might be of some interest. So there's going to be a youth leaders luncheon featuring Pulitzer Prize winning author Juno Diaz, who is a great speaker, and he's such a pleasure to listen to, and he will educate you and entertain you at the same time. And then the hip-hop transformation will be there also. And this is for Cambridge teens in the 8th to 12th grade on Saturday the 16th from 11:30 to 3:30 at the Microsoft Nerd Center, which is right at the corner of Main Street and Memorial Drive. Can you imagine? This is what happens at some point, Memorial Drive. So that building right at the corner of Memorial Drive and Main Street, the Nerd Center, and if you're available, you should really attend that. I think you'll find it interesting, and Vice Mayor, thanks for your extra donation. It's going to help. Our next speaker is a familiar face to most of our award recipients, and I know how proud he is of all of you. He graduated from Wesleyan, Harvard Graduate School of Education, and Northeastern University, Principal Residency Network Program. His career thereafter thrived as a humanities teacher and assistant school director of New Mission High School, and he served as a mentor teacher for the Cambridge-Harvard Summer Academy, among other accomplishments. Joining Cambridge in 2004, formerly in the position of Dean of Curriculum of Learning, Community R, he is now the principal of CRLS. I'd like to introduce our principal, Damon Smith. Damon?
I guess it wouldn't be appropriate to say what he said, ditto. For Superintendent Young, I will start my remarks by saying, good afternoon, Mayor Marr, City Manager Rossi, City Council members, school committee members, Dr. Young, Dr. Turk, families, loved ones, and guests. I'm honored to participate today in today's ceremony and grateful to work and live in a city that acknowledges student achievement and enables their future success. On behalf of the entire Cambridge Bridge Latin School community, I thank the City of Cambridge for the generous scholarships that have been awarded today to graduating seniors in the class of 2015. The Cambridge Bridge Latin School is deeply appreciative of the city's recognition and their assistance. The scholarships awarded today are vital to the recipients, but also very vital to our entire community. They signify that Cambridge residents are invested in individual progress and in the community's collective success. These awards will open doors to new opportunities and create pathways to success, not just for the individual, but for all of us. Scholarship awardees, please note that wherever you go and whatever you do from this point forward, there is an entire city that supports you and is counting on you. In recognition of this integral support, scholarship awardees, please be sure after this ceremony is over to thank friends, family, teachers, and members of the Cambridge community for their effort, support, and encouragement to help you reach this goal. A personal thank you and acknowledging their contribution may seem small, but it is so important. To the scholarship winners today, I truly feel fortunate to have worked with the graduating students in attendance this afternoon. This is among the most accomplished graduating class in CRLS history, with accolades too numerous to mention in the brief time that I have this afternoon. That's for a graduation. There is a reception, however, that follows this event, and I encourage everyone in the audience to get to know many of the young people here. I guarantee that after meeting some of the CRLS recipients, you will, like me, be excited and hopeful about the future of our community. I can't stop smiling when I talk about my students. They make me very proud. I'm very hopeful. These young people make me so excited about the work that's being done in our community and very excited about the future of our city and our state. To the CRLS graduates personally, I'm happy for you to graduate and eager for you to start the next phase of your life, but I will be very sad to see you leave. More important than your significant individual achievement, you best embody the school's values of opportunity, diversity, and respect. This group has been awe-inspiring because you have been dynamic yet humble. You've never really tooted your own horn. You've always been quiet leaders and folks who've done some amazing things without necessarily saying, look at me, I'm so important, especially in a day and an age where we take 35 selfies just to get that one right captured photo. You retweet and tweet and like just to, get your value and your worth. You guys have moved quietly and been leaders and folks who really have inspired true change without necessarily succumbing to the things of the day. You have been dynamic yet humble. You have faced challenges with passion and enthusiasm. Thank you for your numerous collective and your individual contributions. Falcon Pride, which I think started when you guys came in, and the Falcon Way, which definitely started when you came in, means something because of what you have done. However, I need you to hold true to the values of opportunity, diversity, and respect so that those who follow you will develop into respectful citizens and compassionate human beings. Be mindful and purposeful in your actions. Pay this scholarship forward by giving back in any way that you can to help those who will come after you, and for those like me who in the near future will rely on your leadership, your wisdom, and your direction. Remember, we have supported you, and we are now counting on you. Once again, congratulations on winning the scholarship. I hope it propels you towards your lifelong goals, and thank you once again to the City of Cambridge for this generous contribution. Thank you.
So thank you to Principal Smith. Are the members of the school committee here? Any members of the school committee? Oh, Fran, I'm sorry. I had Fran Cronin and Fred Fantini. I didn't see any others. I also want to introduce our Deputy City Manager, Lisa Peterson. Lisa, stand up. And I want to take a moment just to thank those people who work very closely with Mr. DePasquale in putting this event together and doing all the work that gets you all here. I think they have a great system and a great program. You met Irene Kostakis, who will give out, call the names and help us give out the scholarships. Michelle Kincaid. Michelle is the Assistant Director for Finance, working closely with Mr. DePasquale. Juliet Turner. Stacy Cooper. Stacy helps Mr. DePasquale. Sandra Albano from the City Council Office. Lee Giannetti and Eni Tomeo from the City Manager's Office. And Mary Ellen Carvello, who works closely also with Mr. DePasquale from the City Manager's Office. So in closing, before we actually call you all up for your award, I just want to say congratulations to the recipients, to their families, and to all the residents who donated to the fund, thanking you for making this a very special event. Now, I thought you heard a lot of great words tonight from many leaders in the city. You heard from the mayor. He talked to you about the strength of the program and the commitment of the school committee and the city to this program. You heard from Superintendent Young, who talked about the part that families play and, you know, what a great start this is for you. And you heard from Damon and Mr. Fantini, who talked about the connection to Cambridge and the schools and the fact that you do have an opportunity to give back. You know, I would just tell you myself, I was a Cambridge High and Latin, the old Cambridge CHLS school graduate. I loved the experience of growing up in Cambridge, going to that high school, and I couldn't wait to come back and be able to contribute in some way. It's just a natural draw. So someday I would expect to see all of you come back as teachers, as city councilors, as mayors, managers, department heads, running nonprofits, doing all the things that could make, maybe you'll become real estate agents and bring the price of housing down, and you can all come back and live here. That would be great. So having said that, again, really think about what was said about continuing to help come back and make this the great city that it is. I also want to recognize Mark McGovern, former school committee member and city councilor. Thank you, Mark. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Irene, who will call you for your scholarship award. Thank you.
Hello? Okay, there it is. So I'm going to call everyone by name. If you could just come up on this side of the ramp, pose for your picture here with our lovely photographer, Richard, and then just exit on this side, okay? So, Etiana Alcius Etienne. Yonatan Alamayu. Nell Baker. Abdullah Barry. Tani Barua. Aisha Belabas. Rebecca Bonilla. Ruby Bose. Vanelli Chavez. Logan Chen. Choyang Chesachung. Skylar Delva. Eva Deani Miller. Abdullahi Darir. Hugh Doherty. Dean Duyan. Soraya Ellie. Mohammed El-Qada. Sophia Engelman. Rabia Fresco. Bariva Frith. Lu Chung Fu. Okay, our next two winners are Ibidini and Ibi Yemisi Benabor, and accepting on their mother's behalf is Banke Oluwale. Thank you for coming. You're welcome. Honora Gibbons. Kendasi Greaves. Marilla Greenberg. Tasia Holmes Maxwell. Erica Jaquith. Jasper Jeffrey. Inez Khan. Hajin Kim. Catherine Kim. Prapti Koirala. Christina Kostopoulos. Elizabeth Kubicek. Eleanor McCartney. Krista Milley. Zaria Miranda. Katie O'Laughlin. Kristen O'Laughlin. Aviana Perez. William Rideout. Rebecca Saddock. Dakota Sanford. Alana Saunders. Ariana Saunders. Isabel Stephen. Lucy Sternbach. Kaber Udin. Mohammed Udin. Renata Watson. Amy Zhao. Is there anyone else I missed? Any other winners that I may have missed along the way? No? Okay, well, thank you again for coming. And stick around afterwards for the group photo, okay? Thank you.
So this closes the ceremony. I'd like the record to show that I had 30 seconds to beat 5 o'clock. Mr. DiPasquale said I couldn't do that. So for 30 seconds, I would just want to say one more time, congratulations. Please come forward. We'll take a group photo. Councilor Toomey has just joined us. Councilor Toomey, thank you.